Welcome where curiosity becomes dangerous. For centuries, humanity dreamed of mastering time. We tried to measure it, bend it, escape it. But one day, we did more than that. We controlled it, and everything that made life human began to disappear. Prologue. The moment that never ended, it started in a lab called Kronos 1. A team of physicists, led by Dr. Elias Kaur, was testing what they called a temporal lattice, a machine that could trap a single second, freeze it, hold it, and replay it endlessly. On the day of the final test, the stopwatch on Kaur's wrist stopped ticking. Everything in the room froze. Every molecule, every sound, except him. He stood in silence, watching a droplet of water hang midair, motionless. He had done it. He had broken time. For the first time in history, a human being stood outside the flow of existence. Part 1. The Second Revolution. At first, the technology was used for research. Doctors froze trauma victims to operate for hours in the span of a heartbeat. Architects built skyscrapers overnight. Governments stopped wars before they started. They called it the Second Revolution, not because it advanced civilization, but because it allowed them to repeat it. People could rewind a conversation, undo a mistake, or relive a perfect moment. Time became elastic, and reality became optional. Part 2. The Collapse of Meaning. Within a decade, every citizen had access to a personal chrono device, a wristband that allowed small loops up to 5 minutes. At first, it was magical. No more missed trains, no more heartbreaks. Every failure could be rewritten. But soon, perfection became poison. People stopped moving forward. Students relived the same successful exam over and over. Couples replayed their best day forever. Grief was deleted. Mistakes were extinct. And without mistakes, progress died. Civilization froze not in time but in purpose. Part 3. The paradox of infinite choice. Philosophers tried to warn them. They said, if you can always return to yesterday, tomorrow loses all meaning. But no one listened. The world entered what historians now call the era of repetition. Every city became a mosaic of overlapping timelines. People walked past their own duplicates, each stuck in personal loops of happiness or regret. Governments collapsed. How do you govern when laws themselves can be undone? Memory became unreliable. Cause and effect broke apart. In some cities, it rained endlessly. In others, dawn never came. Time was no longer a river. It was an ocean, frozen and fractured. Part 4. The temporal war. Eventually, a new power rose. The Chronarchy, a group of scientists who controlled the master clock, a global core that kept the fragments of time synchronized. But others, called the Flow Keepers, wanted to destroy it. They believed that time should be free, not controlled. And so began the first war, fought not for land or belief, but for momentum. The weapons weren't bombs, but paradoxes. Chronal storms ripped through cities, tearing hours out of existence. Some people aged decades in seconds. Others remained young forever. History itself became a battlefield. Part V, the frozen world. Then one day the master clock failed. For exactly 24 hours, time stopped everywhere. Birds hung motionless in the air. Clouds became statues. And humanity realized what true stillness felt like. When the system restarted, something was missing. Entire nations had vanished, erased by paradox. Only fragments of memory remained, like dreams slipping away after waking. Dr. Kaur, the man who first froze time, vanished too. Some say he never moved again. Others say he's still looping, trapped inside the second he created. Part 6. The age without time. Centuries later, survivors rebuilt the world, not by controlling time, but by abandoning it. They discovered that time had been alive all along, a conscious flow that resisted control. The more they manipulated it, the more it fractured, like a river breaking into streams. The last humans created a monument in the center of the earth, A clock that doesn't tick, hands forever frozen at 0 o'clock. They called it the heart of stillness. And they wrote one final message beneath it. To live is to move forward. To stop is to die. Epilogue. The irony, so what if humans controlled time? We'd erase every mistake and lose every meaning. Maybe time isn't an enemy to conquer. Maybe it's the only thing keeping us alive. Because the beauty of existence isn't that it lasts forever. It's that it never repeats. And if you ever feel like stopping time, just pause this video instead. Then hit like and let it flow again.